Alexander once again on display. Alexander draws the foul, back it home, and one. Career high 55 points for the MVP. Doncic. Oh, he's feeling it. Doncic has been on automatic.
Wembanyama, the save, the reverse, a figment of our basketball imaginations.
Green setting multiple screens for Curry. Here's Curry, deep triple. It's good. He outscored Denver during that span by himself.
You know what we haven't been short on in this first week in the NBA? Getting buckets. There have already been 16 40-point games by 13 different players. That's more than double the most 40-point games in the first week of a season in NBA history.
They've been in the gym this offseason.
They've been balling, so we thought we'd go coast to coast with the ballers. And naturally, that's where you start in Utah, because the Jazz, they got an overtime win thanks to 51 points from Lauri Markkanen, his career high, and the first Jazz player to break 50 in a regular season game in over 27 years since Malone. Brian, are teams around the league starting to pay attention here?
Well, you know, Markkanen signed that huge contract extension before last season and then had his worst year in 3 years. His name was nowhere near the trade market. Now he's taking 11 three-pointers a game and making 42% of them. If that keeps up, that's going to change as far as the trade market goes.
Yeah, there's going to be questions swirling, like what's going on in Utah. The Nuggets, they beat the Wolves last night. It was the 7th time that Jamal Murray had at least 40, and Nikola Jokic had a triple-double in the same game. Only Hall of Famers Wilt and Tom Gola have done it more times. Shanae, are we underrating them?
Somehow we are, but you know what's still wild to me? To understand the fact that Jamal Murray has yet to be an NBA All-Star. Make it make sense. Now, over the past 5 or so years, they have been the best duo, big and guard in the NBA, but others have entered the chat. Chet and Shea and Cat Brunson. So, but they still got it, sis.
How about Austin Reaves? He's him. He followed up his 51-point night with 41 in a loss to the Blazers. That 92 points on back-to-back evenings, the most by a Laker over 2 days since Kobe in 2007. Perks, did you know Austin had this in him?
You damn right I did. That's why I picked him to make his first All-Star appearance this season, because I knew it. And look, Malika, he's not just scoring because he's averaging 35 points. He's dishing the rock, averaging 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Austin, I am Reaves, him, knows he's him.
They're going to need it without Luka for the next week. No Joel Embiid for Philly, but Tyrese Maxey picked the Magic apart. 43 points, 8 assists. And how about rookie VJ Edgecombe? Added 26 in the win. The Sixers are now 3-0 despite no Paul George, no Jared McCain, no Embiid. Shanae, what makes this backcourt so effective?
Come hang with me. Let me talk nerdy to you. Here's what you need to know today. The 2 most explosive guards in the NBA to start the season are in Philly, Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. Now, they have combined for 186 points this year. That's the most by a starting backcourt in the first 3 games of a season since 1970. Let's start with the All-Star, Tyrese Maxey. So far, he's shooting 52% from 3. He's knocked down 15. His three-point shooting has been elite. That's the most in Sixers history starting the season. But also, you guys know he's so good at finishing, although he's undersized. What's the matchup here? He's only 6'2", going up against Paolo Banchero, that's 6'10". But anytime you roll things back, we all know what LeBron James taught us, you're going to attack. Right here, he keeps the defender on his hip. There's someone that's great, Wendell Carter, for rim protection. It does not matter. He's able to kiss it off the top. Look at where he finishes his shot, this layup, in order to get it over the defender. He's very savvy with that. Tyrese Maxey has scored 111 points. More than the greatest in Philly, Allen Iverson, arguably, and right behind Wilt Chamberlain. And y'all know what they say about being in the stat line with Wilt. Now let's break down, though, his running mate, VJ Edgecombe, the rookie. I knew you liked that one, Perk. He's known for his explosiveness. Paolo Banchero, he's chilling. This is where he does his damage. He's so great in transition, but hey, this is going to make the scouting report. Those types of defensive competitive plays, what does it lead to? An easy layup on the other side. That's VJ doing it. Look at the reach. Look at the contest. Again, now you know. Now you know. Now you're familiar with this game. And then again, his basketball IQ is just so advanced as a rookie. Here, there's drop coverage, and he's going to read it until the last second. So if you engage with the post, you have the shot. If you engage with the guard, you're going to dump it over to the post. This is tricky because he's still in the air. No decision has been made, but he has excellent touch on this shot. This many people have scored more in NBA history. If you look at that, it's wild. So far, BJ has scored 75 points, 1 point more than Michael Jordan in his debut, and Philly is 3-0 because of this backcourt.
Big pick this one up in the third quarter with the Thunder leading by 5. Chet, watch him here, catches the pass, and then goes all the way to the paint, throws it down.
Yeah, I love how Chet Holmgren is starting the season playing with authority. He is their separator. He's their X factor. Without J-Dub, you have to have someone step up, and he's been that guy.
Over Cooper, so did he capture the flag?
Oh, he did.
SGA, fancy footwork. That tough fadeaway, he gets that one to go. And then later on in the third, SGA, watch him here, gets the steal, takes it coast to coast. You know he's going all the way, Shannon.
Yeah, I mean, how do you stop him? He's so crafty. He finds ways to finish off the glass left and right. No one can keep him in front.
Finish your breakfast, though. Chet, pump fake, drives, passes to Hartenstein for the slam. Sharing is caring.
Honestly, I was like a little disappointed in the defense of the Mavs. They were doing a lot of watching late.
We're going to talk about that. Davis does catch it, banks it in, plus the foul. Mavs cut it to one possession here, but then SGA passes it to Hartenstein, finishes the layup. The Thunder, they go on to win this one 101-94 and remain undefeated. Now, the scary thing is, the OKC offense, it's not even clicking yet. The Thunder made just 20% of their threes. It's actually tied for their second worst three-point shooting game since the start of 2024-2025, but they made up for it. They made it 60% of their twos. On the flip side, Cooper Flagg, his struggles, they really continued. The number 1 pick, he also injured his shoulder in the opening possession of this game. You can see it right here. Yeah, he finished with only 2 points, 1 of 9 shooting in this game, 2 rebounds, no assists in 31 minutes. And Jason Kidd made the decision to have him spend the majority of crunch time watching from the bench. The Mavs fell to 0-3 on the season, and they're now the sole winless team in the Western Conference. So let's say howdy to our partner, Tim McMahon, who was out in Dallas last night. Tim, how concerned are the Mavericks about Cooper's shoulder? Let's start there.
Howdy, Malika. He's going to get some scans on that today just to be sure, but they don't think it's a concern moving forward. He says he expects to get treatment, continue icing it, and to be available tomorrow night against Indiana. And, you know, like you said, he played 31 minutes after injuring that shoulder. He thinks it's just banged up. That was not the reason that he was on the bench for the vast majority of crunch time. It just was not Cooper Flagg's night. He looked like an 18-year-old who was really struggling in the first back-to-back of his NBA career against the defending champions.
Right, of course. It's against the defending champs, so we should mention that, of course, as well. But Dallas has been trying out Cooper Flagg at point guard. The returns, though, Tim, while there were some flashes in the preseason, they really haven't been great. The Mavs are dead last in offense. So how committed are they to this experiment, knowing that in the West, every single night really matters?
Well, Jason Kidd talks a lot about what he thinks will be long-term benefits to Cooper Flagg going right into the deep end of the pool as a point guard to begin his career. And by the way, it's a position he has never played. He didn't play point guard at Duke or in high school. So he's not only learning on the fly at 18-year-olds in the NBA, but it's an unfamiliar position. And the production, he had 22 points, 4 assists against the Raptors, but like you said, they ranked dead last in offense. I think what's interesting will be to continue to monitor the role of D'Angelo Russell, who was really a fringe rotation player in those first couple games. DNP-CD in the second half of a loss to the Wizards. The Wizards. Now, last couple games, D'Lo has been the sixth man. He's not shooting it well, but it is a completely different offense with D'Angelo Russell bringing the ball up the floor. Whether they want to or not, I think they're going to have to continue to rely on D'Angelo Russell to play a significant role. He's the only experienced ball handler on the roster as long as Kyrie Irving continues to be recovering from that knee injury.
Yeah, when you look at history in the NBA, it tells you that young guards, when you task a young player with doing most of your ball handling, oftentimes it is a really, really difficult adjustment, and teams like to go with that experience. Tim McMahon, adios, amigo. All right, let's pick this back up with some highlights from around the league. Our NBA Big Three. We're going to start, Sinead, with Donovan Mitchell. He gets our nod for the handles of the night here. Let's see what he had in store.